Division properties of exponents 2. Power of a quotient property. Okay, what's a power of a quotient property? Well, what that property states is that if you have a quotient, which is just a fraction, a over b, if you have a quotient and you raise that to a power, let's say m, what that states is to find the power of a quotient, find the power of the numerator and the power of the denominator, and then divide. So what you're essentially doing is you're going to distribute the power into the numerator and the denominator. It's got to be distributed to both. So what you're going to do is rewrite your fraction as a to the m power over b to the m power. And then you'll divide from there. Now this works as long as b does not equal 0, because if b equals 0, then your answer is going to be undefined. So an example of this with actual numbers could be 4/5 to the third power. Okay, and what you're going to do is distribute that power into both the numerator and the denominator. So you're going to apply it to the 4, so it'll be 4 cubed over 5 cubed. So it has to go with both the numerator and the denominator. And then you can divide from there. So 4 cubed is just 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and then 16 times 4 is going to be 64. So you have 64 on the top, and then 5 times 5 times 5 on the bottom. 5 times 5 is 25, and then 25 times 5 is 125. So you're left with 64 over 125, and then you can divide that from there. And we're not going to do that in this exercise, but that's just how you're going to use the power of a quotient property. Now, another way to use it, to use the power of a quotient property, here's an example. Let's say you have 2/3. Let's say you have 2/3, and that's raised to the second power. So 2/3 squared. So all you have to do is rewrite it and put the square with each term. So 2 squared over 3 squared, which is just going to be, well, 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. And then 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. So it'll be 4/9. And you're done with that one. Now, if you want to know why this works, well, let's take that first example. 4/5 cubed. Well, 4/5 cubed, that's like saying 4/5 times 4/5 times 4/5. And when you have fractions and they're multiplied, you just multiply straight across the numerators and the denominators. So you'll see that the numerator is going to be 4 times 4 times 4, which is 4 cubed, right? That's going to be the numerator. And then you'll see the denominator is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 5 cubed. And that's how you get it. Okay, so that's why it works. So in the next video, we'll just go over some different examples using the power of a quotient property and also the quotient of powers property. And we'll just work with these fractions a little bit, see some examples. They may get a little more complicated, so it'll be a good lesson for you to watch.